Today, we're going to transfer that manuscript you spent months and months, if not years, to getting it polished, to make it in a print-ready format using Microsoft Word so that you can convert that manuscript into a printed book or an ebook that you can sell online on any print-on-demand site. And ideally, then readers can download it or buy it, love it, and make you a best-selling author. So first off, I like to just set up my desktop, click on Styles pane there, and go under View, hit the little navigation pane because that's going to show me all the different pages. I find that's very useful. Now I'm going to select all and clear formatting. Now that's important because you're going to have probably played around and formatted your book as you're writing. So the best thing is just clear that formatting and we're going to start fresh. We're going to go to Layout, Margins, Custom Margins, and hit Page Setup. We're still going, hit paper size, and I'm going to do manage custom sizes. Now you can actually just do a little plus here to create a new one. I happen to create one here already for you guys. The standard paperback size is about 6 to 9 inches. And if you needed a book with bleed, so that means that if you have pictures in your book that go right to the end of the page, you need to increase the margin size by a little offset because the printer may not be fully exact. And you want that wonderful picture you put in there to be right to that edge of the page. It's going to look fantastic. But for those like me that tend to write all text, I'm going to keep mine to the standard paperback size of 6x9. Here are the margins we need to do. Remember, your margin sizes are going to be shifting by the number of pages your book is. So be careful, you at least use the minimum. And if you happen to have a favorite book that you love and you love the formatting of, well, you can actually measure the margin sizes as long as it's similar to the page count of your book. And you can try to emulate the formatting so your book can look very similar. So Amazon says that if you have a header or footer, you need at least about 1 inch. And if you don't, you can make it smaller. That's fine. Now you see this left and right. Well, that's a little confusing from a printer standpoint. So we're going to have to go click on Mirror Margins. And what that is going to do is that it's going to convert your Word document pages into what you would read in a regular novel. Now the inside gutter, Amazon suggests to be at least a 0.375. But you can actually do it much bigger, 0.76 or your decision. The outside, they suggest again, minimum 0.25. Let's just happen to do 0.5 and try that out, see if you like it. And if you notice, if I just scroll down here, here's that margin difference. And now you can see it. The best thing you can do is to go to the normal style, which all the other styles are based on, change your font. Now I'm going to have to pick Baskerville, where there's roughly about 4 or 5 fonts in the publishing world that they tend to use that look really good on a printed page. I wouldn't go crazy and go beyond that. Stick to what the professionals use. Now the font size can be between 9 and 12, so I tend to pick 12, but again, it's up to you. It's important that the text is full justified. And if you go to Format Paragraph, I like to see the line spacing roughly at about 1.1, but Amazon recommends anything between 1 to 1.5 is good. I leave the spacing set at 0. Click OK. Now what I'm going to do, because I've changed our normal style, I'm going to create a new style and just call it Body Text. You'll understand why in a second. I'm going to click on Format Paragraph. I'm going to put an indent because a lot of times when you read a book, having that first line of each paragraph indented looks good. So I'm going to do a 0.2 there roughly. And line spacing, you can do anywhere from 1 to 1.5. Click it all again. And because I'm going to add a drop cap, I'm actually going to change first paragraph, no indentation for that. So let's just do that here. We're going to create a new style. I'm going to say first paragraph for drop cap. And then I have to go to Format Paragraph, and then I'm simply just going to remove. And you notice just because I created it, they make you actually do it again. So there it is. So now that the first line of each chapter is going to have no indentation, because I'm going to do a drop cap. So here I'm just going to go to drop cap options. Now that's lines to drop is, do you want that M to be 3 lines down or 2 or 1 or so on? For me, I tend to like just 2 lines, and distance from text. I just like to have the hair's difference between the M and the A. Now it's dropped down 2 lines. And so that looks good. So let's go to our chapter. Now, when you create a table of contents, you can pick any style as your table of contents markers, but I'm just going to pick on heading 1. Now, obviously, I don't like that built-in style, so I'm going to modify it. I'm going to use the Baskerville, and I'm going to make that roughly 36. But again, that's your choice of what you want to see. I'm going to go to Format, Paragraph. Now, I tend to like my chapter titles a little bit down on the page, and you can play around that with using this setting. I want at least 100 font above it. And let's just say 36 below. So click OK. I'm going to center text here. So notice here, I don't have to hit the return button, which is actually important for printing. You don't want that. And then the subheading, I don't like that either. So I'm going to modify it. So I'm going to center it here, get a little bit bigger. I'm going to change that to the font I have for the rest of the book. I'm going to double check her. I'm just going to have it maybe 36 again. And again, that's your decision. Now, if you want these tighter, you can certainly do that. I would just play around, go back to heading, modify style, go to format, paragraph in particular, and I want to make it smaller. So let's say I want it at 16. Let's try that. And you notice that now the size difference has changed. So you can do a lot by just changing around the styles. You can change around the margins, play it around, see what actually works for you. And once you like that, now you're set up to start fixing the next chapter. And unfortunately, you're going to have to go through this for every chapter. But because we created these style headings, it's going to be so much easier for you and actually go pretty quick. So let's scroll down to the end of the chapter. So it's very important here that when you get to the end of a paragraph, what you do, I want you to click on this little formatting tab so you can see the formatting marks. And then you go to layout and you add a page break. Because a lot of people like to see the next chapter start on a new page, and that's what you see here. The other thing that's critical, and I'm just going to do Command C there, cut and paste, Command V to drop that little formatting mark. I find if that formatting mark is not in and you send it off to Amazon to print, that last line will end up being fully justified. And because we've done that, we can get rid of these extra spaces, and then we just repeat. Go to chapter, subheading. We make this the first paragraph, and then we go to that letter M, go to home, go to letter M, go to insert, drop cap, and then keep repeating dropped. And I'm going to do 2 lines, point 0.02, and so on and so on. And it's actually that easy. So let's go to the navigation tab here. Now you're starting to notice that we're adding in, every time we add in a new chapter, we can actually navigate straight to that chapter. And that's going to be important for table of contents. So let's just create a new one here. So we'll go to here, insert page break, and make sure we have this formatting marker here so it doesn't look funny when it prints. Remove these lines and so on. And I'll just look to the left of the screen when I click heading. See, now that adds into the next table of contents reference, and so on. Now let's talk about whittle or orphan control. So look at this one page. You only have a little phrase right at the very top. And having all that extra spacing, you just don't think it looks good. So what I would simply do, just take that page and just make a very slight change to the line spacing. So you can just get that one sentence back up where it should be. So here, just by that little tiny difference that no one's going to notice, you've actually fixed that problem. So now we're trucking along. We're doing fantastic. We're actually going to create a front matter for a section. And an easy way to do that is go to layout and just create new page breaks. And keep repeating that. You'll need a title page. You might want a copyright page. You'll want maybe a dedication. And maybe a table of contents or not. It's up to you. Not all paperbacks have a table of contents. We're going to use that title header. And we're going to modify that title style. I'm going to use the same font. And I think it's important to be relatively consistent throughout the entire book. I'm going to make this, let's say, about 36 font. I'm going to center it. I'm going to go to format, paragraph. I don't want my title right at the top of a page. I want it actually much lower. Let's just drop it that much. Spacing between the title and the subtitle. I think that's going to look good. So let's just try that there. That's about where I want it. And this is my subline of the book. I'm going to make that the subtitle. And then we're going to add your name. And it's easy as clicking on subtitle. So that is your first title page of your book. You might want to add in a copyright section I'm going to make mine normal the front matter, or if you wanted to slightly adjust it, you would just create a new style here. The next page, I'm going to put a dedication because I want the dedication to be in my table of contents. And then here, I'm going to insert a table of contents. And one of the ways you can do it is go to Index and Tables. Table of contents, you can pick different styles here. I'll just click on Fancy, click on Options, and now this will allow you to choose which of the style panes you want listed and see how that looks. Now there it is. The best thing you do with table of contents, fix all your chapters first and then your back matter, which is your bio page, your upcoming books, or a list of your books and more could be at the end. And you want to make sure that those chapter headings are all there that you want in the table of contents. So then when you create your table of contents, but if for any reason you added some after, don't worry about it. You just have to click on here, click on OK, and it says replace this table of contents, and it'll actually then add in the additional chapters. We're almost done, but let's go fix your headers and footers. If you notice in the front matter, we have page numbers where there shouldn't be. So we're going to get rid of those. And let's start at chapter 1. We want to have our page numbers always start on the first chapter. And you also want to make sure the inside gutter margin is on the left because that's going to imply that's the front page. We don't want a chapter to start on a back page. So if yours happens to be on the right for chapter 1, then just simply add a blank page above it using a section break, and then you're covered. So just click on the footer, and I'm going to do Insert, Page Number, go to, I happen to like center alignment, but it's your choice. Go to Format. I'm going to do Start at page 1. Then you notice that my page numbering works well starting at chapter 1. But if you look back, I still have these issues here. So the easy way to fix that is to go back to header and footer and just do different first page. Because you created section breaks, these are all representing new sections. So by having a different first page, you can just get rid of it. And now it's starting to look good. So let's go down to fix the header. And in this case, oftentimes people like to put their book title or their author name. So we're just going to, I like to have it centered. So I'm going to go to Home, Centered, and then go back to header and footer. Now you indicate here, you click on here, different odd and even pages, and you scroll down to the next one and you do your author name this time. And again, you're just going to go to Home, Center, go back to header and footer, and then you should be fine. If you look up here, most people don't like to have the header part of the first chapter. So again, you're going to use this neat little tool. Just click on different first page, and it's gone. Now, the one thing is you're going to have to scroll down to each of your chapters and do the same. And that's it. So now look what we've done. We've created your title page, your copyright page, a dedication page, your table of contents. You have your book fully formatted to the right look that you want. You can play around and adjust it. And now you have a file that you can send off to your print-on-demand site and get that uploaded so you can transfer that manuscript into looking like a book like this. For exporting functions, I would go to each print-on-demand site and see how they would want your particular Word document exported and then imported into their site. Remember, once you upload your book content along with your front cover to a print-on-demand site, definitely order an author copy to check to see if you have done it right and if you like your choices. It's very good to format your book using Word, but again, that's your choice. There's even more software because if you're only using Amazon for ebook sales, then they have a software called Kindle Create for digital books. And it's another fairly easy software, and I can create a tutorial for you to do that. And by formatting on Word, it's going to make it even easier. Remember, Pages doesn't work well for all print-on-demand sites, and Apple itself is only an ebook distributor. There's a lot of ways you can get your book print ready. I found Word is the most accessible of the software, and it's actually, as you can see, fairly easy to use, especially if you know what to do. Well, I hope that helped. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Happy writing and happy publishing.